Welcome to Michigan Golf Live Television. I'm Bill Hobson, and we all know that the game of golf has a litany of names that we recognize instantly from the history of the game. Palmer and Nicklaus and Watson and Woods and on and on. Well, today's edition of MGL-TV is pretty special because the stars of the program are these names. These are Michigan's fallen heroes from the most recent conflicts around the world. We've gathered at Treetops in Gaylord to honor them and to do so in a powerful way that raises funds for the families that are left behind from these fallen heroes. Stick around as we celebrate Patriot Golf Day at Treetops on MGL-TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2015 Patriot Shootout at Treetops Resort. On behalf of Barry Owens, the General Manager, Kevin McKinley, the Director of Golf, welcome. On the tee, our first competitor. Playing in his fourth Patriot Shootout, this retired Chief Warrant Officer in the United States Army served a tour in both Iraq and Afghanistan with the 101st Airborne Division. He plays today to honor his father, Chief Warrant Officer Richard Nowacek, who has been an inspiration and a role model during his military career and his life in general. His son John will serve as his caddy today and will continue the family's service to his country as he leaves for the Air Force in November. Please welcome to the tee from White Lake, Michigan, Mr. Big Sexy himself, John Nowacek.
At the start of the show, let's run down the checklist. Red, white, blue belt buckle, check. Incredibly loud patriotic shirt, check. Donation bucket in the form of a cool golf bag with red, white, and blue on it, check. This can only mean one thing. We are in Gaylord at Treetops, and it's Labor Day weekend, which means it's time to focus our attention on the families of fallen heroes through the Folds of Honor Foundation and a fantastic weekend of Patriot Golf Day activities at this wonderful resort. I want you to stick around with us throughout this program. I can guarantee you a couple of things. You're going to meet some heroes. You might get a little misty-eyed, and at some point, you'll have goosebumps as you hear from those who served and those who are honoring our fallen heroes. We want to start things off by talking with the man who has really driven this event over the years, Director of Golf Kevin McKinley at Treetops. It is a thrill to be back at Treetops for this Patriot Shootout and to have a chance to visit with the man who really drives this event along with a great team here at Treetops. Kevin McKinley, let's start off with this. Why do this? It's a holiday weekend and you could actually pump a lot more revenue through the club, and instead you do all of this to benefit a great cause. Why?
Yeah, I mean, just you're always inspired at certain moments in your life, and you know, that moment for me was 8 years ago or so at a meeting, and I heard Dan Rooney speak, and inspiration hit. We were already doing an event on this weekend anyway, and so we just kind of transferred all of our energies towards a Patriot Golf Day event, and as you know, you've seen it get better and better year after year, and it's extremely rewarding. It's a lot of work, but I love seeing the smiles on these veterans' faces and these actives' faces. They deserve this big time.
Every year, every contestant is encouraged to raise funds to come be a part of this event. I'm super proud of our viewers and listeners, and they helped put together about $3,000. That doesn't put me anywhere close to the lead from some of these Patriots who have raised 5, 6, 7, and more.
Yeah. And a lot of it is like the inspiration that I was just talking about. Those folks that are raising those dollars, most of them have been here 3, 4, and 5 years, and so every year they have a different inspiration, and they just reach out to their contacts, and once you come up here and you see it, now you're able to go back and tell that story. That first year, it's a little bit more difficult to be able to put it into words and to explain to the people that you know and love, that are the ones that are contributing to their funds. It's a little bit harder to explain in that first year, but once you see this thing, it can't help but inspire you. I know I personally get inspired again and again every single year.
Well, for everybody who had first hole elimination in the office pool, I've survived one hole. I don't know how many more. What I can't figure out is why you couldn't get louder shirts for us to compete in this year. This is kind of subdued. I'd probably wear this to maybe to church on Sunday. This is
I think you ought to.
pretty proper, don't you think?
It is for sure proper, yeah.
Here's the battery pack, in case you folks are wondering. I mean, all these shirts come with some sort of external power supply
That's right.
to provide this sort of a visual. It's an awesome job. I want to thank you for having us back here again. We're just getting ready to start into the competition, but thank you on behalf of those that are benefiting from this. It's such a worthy cause.
It's an awesome cause, and we can't thank you enough for being here. I actually put a committee here together this year for this event, and you know, it takes a lot to produce a TV show, and I can't tell you how big of a part of this event that you and your crew are, and so we can't thank you guys enough.
We're glad to be here, and I'm going to attempt my hand in the actual competition. Remember, the highest score on each hole is eliminated, so place your bets now. Oh, we're going to play to the old green, if that's all right with everybody. That'll be adventurous. I don't really like to make the game easy, so instead of hitting it where they mow it, you put it over in the tall grass. See how fast you can be eliminated. It's always fun to conduct a few interviews during the competition, and Ryan Munson should be used to this by now. He's been playing in this for a number of years. What a great setting. Awesome event.
The best. This situation that continues to grow here at the Treetops is amazing. You have to feel it. You have to be here to see it, to believe it. But Kevin and his staff are unbelievable. They go over the top a little bit farther every year, and now we've got you playing this year.
For a little bit, at least. You never know how long that's going to last, but it's fun, and you actually have a few butterflies. This Treetops course, aside from the great cause, this is a really fun and challenging course.
Very challenging, and it's interesting to see people that may not play much tournament golf experience tournament nerves for the first time or second time or once a year or whatever it is, and it does. Makes your hands shake and your heart beat.
I've discovered that they are not allowing me to edit like we normally do on the show, and that's really putting a crimp in my style.
I bet.
Just so you know, if my game hasn't already proven that, you don't have to be a pro golfer to be on this show. Renee has been a part of this event, I think, since year one.
Year one.
And you've raised so much money for Folds of Honor. Tell us about your efforts for this year. How much did you raise?
A little over 5,100.
How'd you do it?
My caddy, Neil McCory.
Neil did all the work?
He didn't do all the work, but he introduced me to a lot of people that are interested in Folds of Honor and wants to be
my theory, Neil, is that once somebody hears about the cause, they don't say no.
No.
I mean, you'd have to really be calloused of heart to say that's no good.
Yep.
There's a couple of things that are very common at this event, and one of them is a lot of tears. There's a lot of smiles.
Oh, yes.
There's a lot of tears. So when you think about benefiting those families that are left behind, what face pops into your mind? Who are you playing on behalf of? Turn around and show us the back of your caddy bib. Who is Sergeant Trevor Blumberg?
Sergeant Trevor Blumberg. He fell in Fallujah in 2005. His parents started a bed and breakfast for veterans and military and their families. And Trevor had asked them that if something should happen to him, if they would take care of his guys and girls. And so this is what they've been doing. To carry on that legacy, I am really trying to get a scholarship in his name.
Awesome.
He does deserve it.
Awesome.
He does.
Well, thank you for all your work and for being here again and for raising all that money. It's so good to see you.
It's great to see you.
All right, thank you, dear. Jason, tell us about your friend.
Well, Sergeant Monroy, my battle buddy, my golf partner, he succumbed to his esophageal cancer that he got while serving in Iraq. And he succumbed to it a week before his 40th birthday this past January.
Lasted a lot longer than he was supposed to.
Yes, yeah, because on your show he told you that the doctors said he was supposed to have with chemo 9 to 12 months and without chemo it was going to be 4 to 6 months. Well, he chose the quality of life instead of the quantity, and he blew them away because he actually went 22 months.
Tough bird.
He was, and the tribute coin here that you're holding, Bill, Robert had a song played at his funeral by Brantley Gilbert, who was a wingman with the Folds, and it's called "That's One Hell of an Amen." There's a line in there that stood out to Robert, and that's what he went by. He just smiled when he had cancer and said, "Bring it on." It was very hard pulling in last night and not having my battle buddy here.
But you have commemorated him with the coin that a lot of people have bought.
Yes.
and raise so much money for your fellow veterans.
Yep.
That goes to Folds of Honor. And this is one of the things I love about this event, is that people care about more than what their scorecard looks like. They care about making an impact in the lives of other people. And so I just want to say well done to you.
Well,
I know
you,
you
Bill.
miss him, but the way that you're honoring him is just awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Bill.
Welcome back to MGL-TV as we celebrate Patriot Golf Weekend and the Folds of Honor Foundation at Treetops. Now, every player who's competing in the event on the Treetops course is playing in honor of someone. In my case, I'm pretty blessed because I'm playing in honor of this guy, Bill Hobson Sr., who is happens to be my dad, and I'm doubly blessed because I'm not playing in his memory. Go ahead, turn around. Here he is. So, dear old dad is caddying for me today, and there are several reasons why, but one of which is he served our nation in the U.S. Navy. What years?
1960 through 1964.
And you were on a
I was on the
humongous aircraft carrier.
I was on a USS Rochester, a battleship, for 1 year, and then I left and I was on an aircraft carrier, USS Bonhomme Richard, for 3 years.
When we think about those who have served, like you and so many others of that great generation, we do it with hearts of gratitude. When you hear about this event,
Yes.
which helps care for the families that are left behind of the fallen, what do you think?
I think it's one of the greatest things you could possibly do, and I'm very proud, son, that you are doing it. It almost tears me up to think that someone cares that much, and I'm very, very thankful and very, very grateful for every person who has served in our armed services.
We know that this weekend, the actual competition on the Treetops course isn't the real reason we're all here, but it is one of them. So Alex Hughes is in charge of the Flight 1 competition.
Yep.
There's another flight a little bit further behind us on the course. So after the third hole, let's catch everybody up. This is kind of like Survivor. The highest score on each hole is eliminated. So on hole number one, who did we lose?
We lost two people after a chip-off. It was Mike Kennedy and Dennis Miller
All right.
on a
I've
chip-off.
loved his comedy for years. I'm surprised he's not still with us. Second hole, what happened there?
Unfortunately, we lost Mr. Bill Hobson. Lost that one.
Well, see, now that's not possible because as a television host, I get to have multiple takes.
And
And I took
and then you
multiple
can take
takes.
this out of that one. Unfortunately, Bill, but yeah, it was just one of those holes. Where
I
we
don't
didn't
know
have
how a 7 can't win on a par 3.
it. No
You
comment
guys might
for
need to
that.
revise some of the format of this. And then on the third hole, who did we lose?
One of our former champions, Ryan Munson. So I mean, there's a lot
Wow,
of
that's
good.
a major upset.
It is. I mean, there's a lot of good players here, so you just never know. A lot of guys are hitting really good shots, and Ryan struggled on the last hole, which everybody does in golf. It can happen. So
This is the 5th time we have produced a show during the Patriot event at Treetops. In all 4 of the previous efforts, I have had a couple of goals. One, to raise awareness about the Folds of Honor Foundation and get you to give to that foundation. And number 2, to figure out how this man over here is messing with my mind. He is known as the Jolly Jester. His sleight of hand is pretty amazing. So I brought along the pro here in the middle because Dad doesn't fall for anything. So it's good to see you again, sir. Thanks for
Good to
being
see
here.
you. It's always good to be back up here. It's a magic event, and I'm just glad to add a little magic to it. What I thought we'd show Dad, you've seen this before, but he is obviously your father, named the same. I assume it all worked
Yeah,
out well, but
senior, junior.
what happens is I'll take the father rabbit. You show him how to do it. You squeeze the
Yeah,
mother.
got it.
Father jumps over there to join the mother like that. Now, did you feel him getting in there?
No.
Turn your hand over like this. See, I haven't got him. Open up slow to the camera and open up.
awkward.
This does make him mad. See, now he must know something because he was part of that. But this time it's your turn. Father goes right on top of the mother. You get them both. Grab tight, give a little shake. Say, Peter Rabbit goes to town.
Peter Rabbit goes to
You
town.
feel the labor pains, morning sickness, nausea.
Oh, yes.
Here, slowly open up the hand. Oh my gosh, there must be a lot of them back home.
They multiply.
You're a stallion. I'm telling you what, no wonder he came out this. It's always nice to be back at Treetops.
Good stuff.
Too. Nice, good stuff. Good
Thank you
deal.
so much. And
All right.
we're going to
Nice
try
to
to
meet
figure
you,
out the
Tim.
bunny trick for next. For the
It's
next
just
year.
nature. It's just nature. Ask your veterinarian.
It's been a while since I've checked in on the updated leaderboard of this event, having been eliminated back on hole number 2. So, Alex Hughes, bring us up to speed. We've got 3 holes
we
left.
got 3 holes left.
Who is still active in this competition?
We have John Nowacek, Brent Bernard, Joe Eccleton, and David Nett.
It's been fun over the years to get to know Bobby Stazak and the group from Group Golfer. We'll tell you about the company here in a moment, but they have made such an impact on this Patriot Shootout. So let me start with this. Why?
Well, it's all about being bigger than what you are. You know, Group Golfer is a service that gets a lot of people together to get people out to try new things. And the same thing, we like to use those people to generate some cash for some good causes.
This is one of those causes. GroupGolfer.com is where you want to go for free to sign up, and then you regularly receive emails that inform you of great deals. What a lot of your customers may not have known is that booking their rounds at Treetops resulted in some cool donations.
Absolutely. Over the years, we've been able to team up with Treetops to raise not only money but awareness for Folds of Honor and doing things for our men and women of the military service. And luckily for us, we've just been a part of it, and a small part of it compared to what all the work that all the men and women do for our country.
I can still remember a couple of years ago when we met this young lady and her husband on the range here at Treetops, Sergeant Robert Monroy, and he has since passed away. And here Anjanette is at this event. Why are you here?
I couldn't miss it. I have to do it in honor of Robert. This meant so much to him. He met so many great people and friends through this whole event, and me and my daughter are just trying to carry on his legacy for him.
You know, they have a commemorative coin around here with his information and his mottos on it. That must mean an awful lot.
I've seen it. They couldn't have made it more perfect and more fitting to him with the Folds of Honor, with the Green Bay Packers, with the Army. I mean, it was perfect. He would love it.
He was a tough cookie.
He was a very tough cookie. He was stubborn, and he fought and he outdid the doctor's prognosis, and he was a fighter. I'm still proud of him.
As well you should be. Well, the reason Anjanette and I are sitting in chairs is because she's not the same height as me, but I got to give you a hug, so we got to stand up. Okay. Sorry to reveal the height difference. See what I tell you. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here and for everything. It's wonderful to have you here. I have watched this guy play better golf than some of those men you've heard of on television over the years when it comes to this par 3 shootout. Joe Eccleton, a 2015 champion on Flight 1. What is the magic secret to this great play?
I think it's just playing the course over and over and just getting to know it a little better and having a lot of luck when you're out here on this golf course. Cause
this is where you're supposed to give a lot of credit to your caddy.
it is my caddy. She keeps me calm.
Introduce your caddy.
This is my mother, Marilyn. She's been in the family all my life, so.
She's not a free agent acquisition?
Not a free agent, no. She come up with me. She's out of Willow Creek Golf Course in Stockbridge. So.
What does it mean to you to win this and have a scholarship dedicated in the name of the person for whom you're playing?
It means a lot. It just means, that some deserving kid or dependent is going to get some help going to school. And there's somebody attached to them that they can kind of relate to. Or see that they paid a price when they were serving the military that they can be recognized for after.
And you played in honor of?
Keith Allen. He's an Army Staff Sergeant, retired way back in the late 60s. Spent some time in Vietnam. He was injured. Served the Purple Heart for his injuries, did a lot of time in the hospital. They medically retired him, and he actually is a member at our golf course down there in Missouri. So, good friend, really good guy, and probably no one more deserving. He's been through a lot.
Mom, you must be proud here.
I am.
He did all right,
proud.
didn't he?
Very proud.
Good. Well,
this is my 4th year out of 5.
Yep, she missed 1 year. So.
Yeah.
Remember, the caddy gets 10%.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, I know. The caddy gave 10%.
There you go. Let me bring in Bobby Stazak from Group Golfer. He's got a little hardware if you have space left on the mantle.
Yes.
Joe,
Bobby.
on behalf of everybody at Group Golfer, Treetops, the participants here today, congratulations on another victory, brother.
Thank you.
Awesome
Appreciate all
stuff.
you guys do for the cause.
Your 2015 champion, Joe Eccleton, ladies and gentlemen. Good job.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, a couple holes behind Flight 1, it's Flight 2. There's a lot of other Patriots out here playing. Spencer Bloom, bring us up to speed now as we catch up with Flight 2 on the 8th tee. Who's left in this competition?
Yep. We've got 3 golfers left. We've got Bryce Peremba, Matthew Fortney, and then we've got the local guy. He's on the golf staff here, Robert Kirsting. So those are the 3 left, 2 holes to play, and we'll crown a champion of the second flight.
This day, this event, this weekend at Treetops is filled with powerful stories, and Tiffany Eckert is here to share her story with us. First of all, welcome to this place and our show, and if you don't mind, would you share with our viewers what your life has been like since the day the phone call came or the visit came?
Well, it was Mother's Day 2005 when I was notified of my husband's death. It was closer to the beginning of that conflict. The last 10 years have been, I've grown up a lot, I've learned a lot. The Lord has definitely rescued me many times, and I have 3 beautiful children that they're the reason I get up every single day and that I've been able to go on. They're the greatest blessings I've ever had.
Those young children, I don't know, kind of drove home Dad's legacy a little bit, didn't he, with an amazing little act of generosity?
Yeah, sure. Our family likes to pay it forward all the time. Miles, in February of 2014, we were all out to eat at a restaurant, and he had found $20 when we were coming in from the parking lot. Lieutenant Colonel Frank Daly walked into the restaurant, and Miles' eyes just lit up like a Christmas tree. And initially, he and his sister Marley had decided they were going to give the 20 to our waitress. And then when Miles saw Lieutenant Colonel Daly, he said, "Mom, you're going to have to take care of the waitress because I'm supposed to give this 20 to that soldier." And so then he wrote him a note and really wrapped the 20 up in the note, gave it to him, and the rest is really history. It organically just became this crazy, internet, famous, viral story.
And once again, a young child teaches all of us how to behave.
Yes, absolutely. Miles has he's a gentle boy. He has a pure heart, kind heart, just like his dad.
Another champion being crowned at Treetops in the Patriot Shootout. Matt Fortney, first introduce us to the one who did all the hard work.
So this is my wife, Amber, and you're right. She did all that.
I know.
She told me what to do, I just listened.
You were playing in honor of whom?
I'm playing in honor of kind of one of my bosses in the National Guard. His name is Sergeant First Class Matthew Jones. He's just been a model soldier, citizen, person from the day I met him. And I can't wait to send him a text and let him know what's going on.
What a great day of competition. You guys were out there for a little while.
Yeah.
You finally wrapped it up, and you played really well. He shot 2 over in flight 2. That's not supposed to happen. You were on fire. Did you even know that?
No, not at all. And it's a good thing I didn't.
You never told me.
No, I didn't. It's a good thing I didn't. You know, in this format, it wasn't really about 1, 2, 5, 10 over.
It's match play, basically.
It was just match play, so it was, just, if you're running away from a bear, just don't be the guy in last place. You know what I mean?
I had never thought of it that way. That's a pretty good point. You'll be pleased to know that I matched your score.
Good.
Through 2 holes before I was done. But I want to bring in Kevin McKinley from here at Treetops. He's got some hardware for the men.
Oh, brother.
Thank you.
Been doing this for
Thank
a while,
you. Yeah.
and you got it done. You got it done. There's the hardware
Thank you
right
so
there.
much. Thank
As you know, we have a replica here at Treetops, and your name and
awesome.
Your honoree's name will go on that forever and ever. So,
awesome.
Way to go, man.
Thank you.
Good job.
If you somehow were able to make it through the last half hour without at some point tearing up, then more power to you. I don't know how you did it. This wonderful event at Treetops raises hundreds of thousands of dollars to honor the families of the fallen and provide them scholarships through the Folds of Honor Foundation. Many of you contributed to our crowdfunding campaign when we began thinking about being part of this special event. And regardless of what the golf scorecard looks like, the important outcome is what happens for those families. So, if you've never given before, try it. Go online to foldsofhonor.org and donate something, anything today. Don't leave these buckets empty. Fill them up with $1 at a time, and you'll forever change a life. To all of you who participated in giving, thank you. To everybody here at Treetops who gives of themselves to host this event, thank you. And to all of these names and the families associated with them, we can't say thank you enough. We'll see you next time on MGL-TV.